Googleizer, you're a Googleizer.
It's episode 55, in which we discuss the time Nintendo let their characters say some rather rude things. It's Captain Rainbow on the Wii, plus a whole load of news items, an incoming indie, and all the old man grumblings you've come to expect from us, right here on Pod 'em Up. Hello, welcome to episode 55 of Pod 'em Up. We are Pod 'em Up. I am Ollie and he's Tibbs.
I am Tibbs.
There's Tibbs. You join us for a bit of Captain Rainbow later on in the show, in your book club. What have you been up to otherwise then, Tibbs?
Not a great deal. Nothing new, anyway, nothing new. I've been playing a fair bit of Hitman, just because it's a good game to go back to. So I've been playing through Hitman quite a bit. And what else have I been? I've been playing a bit of the original Forza Horizon on the Xbox.
Oh, the very first one.
Yeah, the very first one. It's just an easy pick up and play game. You don't want to get too involved in anything. You just pick it up, drive around a bit, do a few races. But yeah, I really don't know. Most of my time, I think, has been put into Hitman this month since we last spoke.
Okay. Is that the original Hitman? Or,
Oh no, this will be the Hitman World of Assassination trilogy. The Hitman 1, 2, and 3. It's all sort of amalgamated into one big title now.
Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I don't think you can buy the games individually anymore now. I think it's now Hitman World of Assassination.
Is it? Oh, I feel very behind the times. I didn't know anything about this. I assume they were still hanging around separately.
No, they might be, but I don't think so. But yeah, it was on sale on Steam, so I picked it because I already had it on. I got all the games individually on PS4, but I thought if I get on Steam, I can play it on the old little Steam Deck.
Yeah, of course.
It works lovely on the Steam Deck. It glides along like a greased mongoose. So you know,
known for their easy gliding. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
Yeah, I'm I mentioned before. I've got a bit to think going on.
Yeah.
So I'm really having. I'm a bit of a muddle, a fluster.
A fluster. That's all right. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Well, we'll stick with us as long as you can until your teeth give out and you have to call it quits. But we won't mind. Okay, well, I went to Sonic Symphony the other evening. It was a lovely event, lovely evening. All had by all, I think. So this was the sort of the first date of the live tour version of the online only concert they did a couple of years ago during COVID times. Yeah, it was really good. They did some couple of new arrangements. There was a Sonic CD one added, which is really, really nice. All orchestra as well, so it's lovely. Tweak some of the other ones as well. So some of the games, instead of doing medleys, they focus on one level within that game. So they did a Sky Sanctuary, they did a Rooftop Run, was lovely. Yeah, really nice.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah. Then they did all the vocal songs at the end, which was good fun. Very loud. I'm not really a gig person, and probably didn't help that I was sitting like right next to the speakers. So that might have had an impact on the fact that they had an orchestra with they had a singer and a couple of the guitarists and a drummer, and they had the orchestra still there as well. But the orchestra may as well not have been there as far as I could hear, because I couldn't make them out at all. They were just, and everyone of course was singing along. It was really an enthusiastic crowd. So
cool. Was there a few people there?
Quite. Oh yeah. It sold out in like 45 minutes. So I was lucky to get a ticket really. I ended up paying a little bit more than I would have wanted to for it actually, but I got a really close seat as a result. So, but it was great, really good fun. And obviously, I went to London. I spent the day there, and I went down to Croydon during the day because they've got Heart of Gaming, which is one of those retro arcades that you pay like 20 quid at the door, and then you can go on. It's like free play after that.
Yeah,
that was really good fun. So they had, a bit of Outrun 2. I enjoyed that. Never played that in the arcade before. A bit of Afterburner Climax, which is the newest Afterburner, I think. That was good fun.
Afterburner Climax. It's delisted now. You can't play it.
No, you can't play it. I've got it. I managed to get the download for it on my 360 emulator, which works quite well because it was on the Xbox Live Arcade, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, again, I never played the arcade version before, and had that sort of rotating seats with the stick.
Nice.
Oh, it's amazing. It was amazing. It was great fun. I love that. I played all the way through that because of course it's just unlimited credits, so and that was great fun. Sega Rally as well, enjoyed that. Not used to the old steering wheel, so I can do it a lot better on the control pad, but I gave that a few good goes, see how far I could get.
That's the thing. I love Outrun. I love Outrun 2. I go back and play that regularly.
Yeah.
I think I'd struggle with it with a steering wheel because I'm so used to playing it on the control pad.
Yeah, definitely. It takes some practice. It's still great fun because you get with arcade games. Whenever I go, I'm always drawn to the ones that have a different control scheme than I can use at home.
Yeah.
Just because it's a completely different experience, Yes, it is very different. You have to get a hang of the drifting, which I did. I think. Well, I think I did, but sort of by the end. So I got a few courses into that. I didn't get all the way through a course of 6 or 7 or whatever it is, but yeah, good fun. It's got the whole place had like a nice retro game shop attached to it. It's one of those ones where everything's like really sort of piled up. There's loads and loads, like an Aladdin's cave of retro goodness in there. There's some
lovely.
Rare stuff. There's some Neo Geo stuff in there, all behind cabinets and things because it's all, you don't want anyone walking out with it. But
reasonably priced or usual retro pricing?
It's hard. I haven't been keeping up with a lot of the prices for a lot of those things, but I'd imagine it's probably in keeping. They seem high to me, but I think it's about on par.
Yeah.
It's just they go up every time I see them, so it's just they've got to keep up with it, and especially with the shop and everything, so they can't exactly give things away. But
overheads and all sorts.
Oh yeah, but I was very very impressed by that. I spent a lot of time wandering around there. It's good. I liked it. Elsewhere, gaming-wise, I haven't been playing a lot of new stuff either, actually. I was hoping to tell you that I'd finished Zelda by now, but that's still not the case. I was all set to fight the final boss, because I figured it would have the same structure as Breath of the Wild, so you do the 4 separate things. You go on these quest lines and do the dungeons and things, and then you go to the castle and fight Ganon. I thought that's what was going to happen. I went to the castle, fought a few bosses, but then it turns out I've got to do this whole other thing now. I was kind of all geared up to finish the game there and then. I thought, oh, this is, it's taken me by surprise. I sort of, so I'm not really sure what to do now, but I'll get through it a little bit more slowly. Hopefully finish it by the time of the next episode. I can't be far from the end now, I don't think.
No.
Hogwarts Legacy, dipped a little bit into that. Back again. Obviously I was playing Zelda, so I couldn't possibly juggle 2 open world games at the same time. That would have been silly, but
that's kind of fresh madness.
It would have, I wouldn't have known what I was doing. But so as Zelda's starting to come to a close now, I played that a couple of times. It was good. Played a former incoming indie actually that I've mentioned before. It's Hoa, or it's pronounced Hua, I think. This was that Studio Ghibli 2D platformer. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't finished it, but it's really nice. Lovely little sort of plant type creature going around talking to bugs and jumping on leaves and things like that. It's kind of like a little sort of condensed Metroidvania kind of things. So you have to just go and explore and puzzle platformers and things, So it's nothing revolutionary, but it looks lovely. It's just absolutely gorgeous hand-drawn artwork and everything. Really nice.
I did play. You reminded me. I did play not the full game. I played the demo of a game called Humanity. Have you seen this?
Trying to think.
It's the one with the dog and the thousands of people.
No, it doesn't ring a bell.
It's kind of like, right, so you play like a shiny dog. He's like a spirit, ethereal sort of dog. A dog.
A dog. Yeah, we've established it's a dog.
I told you I'm not with it today. I tried to get my thoughts right. So you're a dog, and and there's thousands of people, and they pour out of this. I can't remember if it's like a portal or something. They all pour out, and you've got to bark at them.
This sounds like a dream. Are you sure this wasn't a dream?
I'm not sure now. Thinking about it. You got to bark at them to make them go in different directions. So it's kind of a bit like lemmings in the sense that they all just sort of plough forwards, and you've got to bark at them to get them into a certain direction and get them to the exit, and that's it. And yeah.
So it's like a puzzle game.
It's a puzzle game, I think. I'm assuming it wasn't just.
I'm going to have a quick look at this because I don't believe you.
Yeah, look it up. Humanity.
Humanity game. I'm going to put because.
Yeah.
Hang on. There we go. Oh right, yeah. I see what you mean. Thousands and thousands of people. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're a little dog, okay. And you got to bark at them, and when you bark, because it's like a little grid, and when you bark, you can set that grid piece to a certain direction. So whenever any of the people hit that grid, they will then move in whichever direction you've barked them at.
Yeah. They're having a little war with some people here.
It gets crazy.
Got like lightsaber things.
Oh, I've not seen the lightsaber things.
Well, they're sort of glowing bars that vaguely resemble lightsabers.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm giving you spoilers here.
Yeah, what's going on?
Oh yeah, okay. That's There's a crazy number of people on screen at once.
That's what I thought. Well, because I saw it. Yeah, I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, there's a dog and there's people. The thousands of people and a dog barking at them. That's all you need to get me interested, really." So yeah, I'm just looking at it now, seeing if I can see. Yeah, someone has pointed at the lemmings. And there's these giant people. These giant people. I can't remember what they do now, but there's giants as well. Give it a go. There's a demo of it on Steam, so
I'll give that a try then. Yeah.
Yeah, you can play it and see what it's like.
Yeah.
Loads of people floating around a big ball. Anyway, carry on, as you were.
Right, where was I? Okay, the only other thing I've got, and I only played it briefly, was Lethal League Blaze. Have you ever played that?
I don't think I have.
So it's from Team Reptile, who recently put out Bomb Rush Cyberpunk.
Oh, yeah.
So it's got exactly the same sort of aesthetic, that Jet Set Radio style, but it's kind of like a mixture of a 2D fighting game and a sports game, a bit like Windjammers. So you've got this is like if you imagine a side-on two people in a fighting arena, they've got to knock a ball, like an anti-gravity ball, between them, and it bounces around. And if you hit it, say your colour is blue, you turn the ball blue, and if that ball won't hit you, but it'll hit the other player. So they've got to bounce it back,
okay.
And it sort of bounces around the arena, and gets faster and faster, and there's different moves and things you can do. It's quite fun.
Oh, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah, it's a sequel to Lethal League, which I also tried, but I couldn't. It seemed a lot more limited, so I tried the Blaze, and it's good. It's very nice.
Ah. Have you played Bomb Rush?
I haven't. No, it's on my wish list. I'm going to wait until it gets some sort of sale. But
yeah, that's. I was really excited for it. I had it on my wish list, and it was coming out next week, coming out in a few days, coming out tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then I looked at the price. I was like,
yeah. Well, it's not immense. It's like £35 £35, something like that. 30s,
Yeah.
40s, is it? Something like
Yeah,
that.
it's
I mean,
about £35, I think.
yeah,
But,
which is not out of this world, but
oh no, but it's a bit
more
a
than
bit
I would
above
have.
an impulse
Yeah,
purchase.
yeah. You got to. It's more of a carefully considered price, I think. But it's got amazing reviews, hasn't it?
It has, yeah.
It really is the Jet Set Radio 3, isn't it?
Seems to be. It seems to be.
Mm.
So I definitely pick it up, but yeah, I'm waiting for
Yeah.
a little bit of a cheeky discount on that one first.
Yeah, we're being a bit stingy this month. Sorry, people. I've got a bit of news going on here. I've got quite a lot of news items to go
Let's hear
through
it.
that we can go through them bit by bit.
News.
First of all, it happened earlier on because it was about a month and a half since our last episode, wasn't it? So
Yeah.
I think this happened earlier on in the time. It was the Microsoft announced the Xbox 360 store is closing.
Yeah.
So all the lovely XBLA games are going away, sadly. Very sad for me. That was one of my all-time favourite online stores, I think.
I was going to say, I think we've talked about it before.
We've
how
talked
much
about
we
it at
love
least a
the-
couple of
the
times
XBLA.
before. Yeah. Just so, and a demo with every game. It's just I still don't understand why other stores haven't done that. I mean, it's probably there's far fewer games there than you could get on the eShop and things like that. Admittedly, but it was lovely.
It's really odd. Like you look at the last generation, you had the Xbox Live indie store, the Wii had the Virtual Console, the PlayStation store had the PlayStation Minis, and all these tiny little just fun little things. They've pushed them all aside for this generation, and well, no, I mean I say this generation. It's not. It's
the last generation and
last
this generation.
Yeah, but it all seems to these things that everyone liked, universally loved, and they're like, forget it, get rid of that.
Yeah.
Forget Virtual Console. We'll just give them, 2 NES games every 5 or 6 months.
And make them really obscure ones that no one's ever
Really
heard
obscure ones, and even in Western countries, we'll put the Japanese ones on there, so they can't understand any of the menus. They'll love it.
They'll love it. They go crazy for that. Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it's sad.
It is sad. Yeah, we've said before. I mean, there's loads of great XBLA games on there. I mean, a lot of them you can get on Steam now as well, which is good, and you can emulate a lot of them too. If you've got a fairly decent PC, they do work quite well. But yeah, it's
The thing is, the emulation side of things, that does work. But I mean, in terms of legitimate ways to access these games and enjoy them, they're basically taking a lot of games completely off of the market now.
Yeah,
there's
there's quite
no
a few.
other way to play some of them.
There's quite a few. Some of the more slightly obscure games.
Yeah. And I know they said, you can still enjoy your games with the Xbox backwards compatibility. But I might be wrong. But I mean, one of the games that I do play a lot on the 360 still is, funny enough, Outrun Online Arcade.
Oh yeah, okay, because that was delisted, wasn't it?
That was delisted ages ago, but that was brilliant when it first came out, and you could do online races with people. No one plays it now online.
No.
But I'm pretty sure that isn't compatible. That isn't backwards compatible. So
well, no, if it was delisted in the first place, it wouldn't be included in anything anyway, would it? So yeah.
So there's titles that even if you've bought, you're not going to be able to play unless you keep a 360.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair to Microsoft, they're one of the best at backwards compatibility out of 3, but it's still not saying much, I think. And there's so many games from the Xbox and the Xbox 360 generations that you just can't play anymore.
Yeah.
So it closes on the 29th of July 2024. So you've got a bit of time to go and grab all the stuff you need. And again, get the demos. Just get a demo of everything and try it all and see what you like. That's the best thing about that store. So let's stick with Xbox, because I think it was just today that some leaked stuff came out for their They're doing a Series X and S refresh, supposedly, according to this leak thing. And the lovely caption that came with it was "Adorably all digital." Did you see that?
Yeah.
Adorably all digital.
Adorably.
How sickening is that?
It's grotesque.
So that, if it's to be believed, and it is all rumor and stuff, and they could change it and everything, but it's the next Xbox Series X, which is currently the only one that has a disc drive, will not have a disc drive. So they seem to be pushing out the physical stuff altogether.
The problem, I mean, the thing is, in my opinion, they've never let go of this daft idea that they had with the original Xbox One. With the everything being online, the discs just being a key to activate your online thing. They really wanted to force that in to the living room and into people's lives, and everyone kicked back against it when the Xbox One launched, and they were forced to backtrack on it. But they've never really let go of that idea, because even now, I mean, one of the things they said originally was, they made a big song and dance about how, all the online-only stuff was so built into the Xbox One that they couldn't just flick a switch and turn it all off. It was integrated.
Yeah.
And then they just did a flick a switch and turn it all off. Except for the fact that when you buy the Xbox, when you bought the Xbox One, you still had to have it online to activate the very first time when you took it out of the box. It had to download the firmware update.
Yeah.
They never got rid of that. So even when the Xbox One X and Xbox One S came out, they kept that thing where you still had to activate it online. The original models I can understand, because maybe they were all sent out to for production before they decided to backtrack. So they had to upgrade the firmware to take out all the online only stuff. But they never removed it. And even like the Xbox Series X, oh no, they're crap names. Xbox Series S.
Yes.
They still need to be activated online. They've never let go of this idea that everything has to be phoning home all the time.
Yeah, I mean they're not going to come back from that now. I don't think. Given that, I mean most people just use Game Pass on it now. I think anyway, or a very high proportion of people, which is fine and good. But I don't want it to be the sole thing that everyone does. Now and then we lose physical games. We lose even just downloading your game onto your console. So.
I can't believe how far Xbox have fallen, really. When you think, when the first Xbox came out, they were pretty much, everyone was a bit sceptical of them, like, Microsoft doing a game console, and it turned out to be a lovely little machine. 360 came out and dominated everything.
Oh, it's fantastic, yeah. It was, it's still one of my all-time favourite consoles.
Oh,
really,
absolutely. It's such a good console. It's
great
lovely.
Library, yeah.
Yeah, I would put it second only probably to the PS2 in terms of my favourite consoles, just because it's the size of the library and I mean everyone's going to say Red Ring of Death, but I mean that was the later models where they fixed most of the hardware issues. I mean I love it, but then after that it's just completely gone downhill. I really don't. It holds no attraction to me whatsoever as a console or a platform anymore.
No, it doesn't. I mean, to be honest, neither does the PS5. I mean, they're both really struggling to get any sort of interesting games that you can only get on those consoles.
Exactly.
I don't know what's going on.
I was talking to someone on Twitter about this, and it's like it's 3 years now since the Xbox, since the PS5 launched, and still the only game I want to play on it is Astrobot.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
That's the only game.
But that's only
like
quite a minor little mini sort of game, isn't it?
It's basically a tech demo that comes bundled with the console.
I know, it's mental, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, because 3 years in, I think that's when I picked up a PS4, because by that point there was actually a substantial amount of games that I wanted to play on there. But but the same kind isn't true of the PS5 at all. And Series X, the only reason I would get that is to play Sonic Unleashed at 60 frames per second. And that is a 15-year-old game. So
well, I mean, you just got to look. If you look at the library of games that came out the first year of the PS2 and then the first year of the Xbox 360, there's so many like games that we regard now as classic games on that console. And is there anything like that for the Xbox One or the Xbox One X or the PS5? I mean, at a push, maybe the PS5, you could say that new Ratchet and Clank one, but that's on PC.
That's also on PC now, yeah. A lot of them are coming to PC anyway.
God of War's on PC. Last of Us is on PC.
It's true.
You know?
Yeah, I think Nintendo seems to be the only one who actually do bother to do console exclusives anymore. Really,
Yeah.
don't know what's going on anymore. I mean, in general, just with everything, really. But
Yeah, it's the same.
but we won't open up that can of worms. Let's move to Nintendo. So they did a Nintendo Direct.
Well, before we do that, did you see that quote from that dug up from that Xbox guy who said he'd like to buy Nintendo?
I think I heard something about this today, but I didn't see the quote itself.
No, I can't remember what the quote now, but it was just pure speculation. What if Microsoft bought Nintendo? And he was saying Nintendo aren't ready to. Oh, what? I can't remember. Let me Google it.
Let's get it right.
Googleize, you're a Googleizer. Xbox by Nintendo. Ooh. Xbox tried to buy Nintendo 3 years ago, called them a prime asset. Xbox Phil Spencer claims the future of Microsoft is off of their own hardware, as it's revealed Microsoft is buying up shares in the company.
They just want to buy everyone, I think, don't they? That seems to be their goal in life.
The exchange was completely unredacted. In it, Spencer refers to Nintendo as the prime asset. I totally agree that Nintendo is the prime asset for us in gaming. Excuse me, I'm trying to...
Sounds exactly like him.
I know it does. I know, it's like he's in the room. And today, gaming is our most likely path to consumer relevance. I've had numerous conversations about tighter collaboration and feel like if any US company would have a chance with Nintendo, we're probably in the best position.
He said, rubbing his hands with glee.
Yeah, the unfortunate, or fortunate for Nintendo, situation is that Nintendo is sitting on a big pile of cash. I don't think a hostile action would be a good move, so we're playing the long game. But our board of directors has seen the full write-up on Nintendo and Valve, and they're fully supportive on either if the opportunity arises, as am I.
Completely unbiased view there of...
Here we go. At some point, getting Nintendo would be a career moment, and I honestly believe a good move for both companies. It's just taken a long time for Nintendo to see that their future exists off of their own hardware. A long time.
Yeah. The hardware in question being the Switch, one of the most popular consoles of all time.
Yeah, it's only sold more than pretty much anything else in the history of the world.
So they really need to get out of the hardware market. Yeah, big time. And what a load of cobblers.
That's the official Podem market analysis.
Yeah.
What a load of cobblers.
What?
I know. I know. I don't know what's going on anymore. I don't know.
Podem Guide to the wonderful world of real life these days.
Yeah.
We don't know. We don't have any more idea what's going on than you do.
We're just going to be a couple of old men shouting, "Get off our lawn!" aren't we?
Yeah. Well, I think we already are. To be honest, I think we've already passed that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Just stick to the old classics.
Yeah.
You can't beat the old ones.
I've been thinking about that recently, actually, because the more and more new stuff that comes out, the less and less interested I am in it. And I'm considering just literally getting like a collection of all the TV that I want to listen to, all the audio that I want to listen to, all the games that I want to play in one sort of mega hard drive, and just indulge myself in that for the rest of my life. Do you know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean. I know it's like the stereotypical old person thing to say.
Yes.
That every generation in history has said.
Yes.
But I had a look at the top 40 the other day, right? Just out of interest.
Oh, right, yeah. Go on, this will be good. Go on.
There's not a thing on it that I even recognise.
Oh, no, of course not.
I listened to a bit of it.
You can say it, go on.
It's just unrelenting.
Oh, it is,
torrents of shit.
Yes.
It's just noise. It's just noise.
It's just noise.
I remember listening to The Prodigy when I was young, and my dad poking his head round the door and going, "That's just noise. Where's the melody?"
Yeah.
That's what's his favourite thing. There's no melody to it. I say exactly the same stuff now.
I know. Me too. I've said that. We are our parents now.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It suddenly hits you one day, doesn't it?
And don't get me started. We on TikTok.
No.
I don't. TikTok. Have you seen what they do? They dance.
I've had glimpses of it because
they eat food and they dance.
Yeah, I know this. I mean, we were around my in-law, my brother and sister-in-law, Abby's sister and their family, and they've got 2 girls. One's 12 and one's 10, and the 12-year-old is basically a full-on teenager now, and she just puts on this. She shows us this TikTok rubbish, and it's just a guy playing the flute. It's just these ridiculously annoying. It's the same tune, I think, over and over again, but in different situations. Like he's just like, here I am in my bathroom, here I am outside, and just playing the same tune. And she's laughing her head off at it, and I'm literally this. I don't know this world. I don't understand. What's happened.
I don't understand. Have you seen? I know the world and their dog have talked about this already, and it's not really within our sphere of expertise. But have you seen the NPC streams?
No, I don't think so.
Where it's just like a woman or a bloke, and they just people give them money, like actual cash, to just say things. And so, like, if they donate a certain amount of money, they can put an ice cream emoticon on the screen or an emoji on the screen of an ice cream. And then the person on the TikTok live will go, "Oh, ice cream."
Oh, no, I have seen this. Oh, it's that girl, isn't it? Yes, no, I have seen this. This is... What?
It feels... Again, I'm not the first person to say this, but it really feels like... if you like a dystopian sci-fi thing,
it does.
Something you'd see on a TV in the background of RoboCop to show the decay of society.
It does. This is the world. Yeah, the bizarre things that people enjoy.
Yeah, but I mean, if they did that in RoboCop, because RoboCop especially had all these sort of satirical TV segments and adverts and stuff in between, if they put that on there, you'd think, well, that's a bit on the nose, isn't it? No, come on.
Come on, get real. No one's ever going to do that.
It's ridiculous, isn't it? Come on. Oh.
Right. Anyway.
Right. Captain Rainbow.
I've got some other stuff if you want to go.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
I'm not... There's more news. There's more news to come. Hopefully
more news.
It's just a Nintendo Direct the other day, wasn't it?
I've got something to say about that as well,
go on.
actually. Yeah.
All right, go on.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, Tomb Raider 1, 2, and 3. It looks quite good, doesn't it?
It does look quite good. I don't know why it's not Tomb Raider 1 through 5, to be honest, because they all run on basically the same engine.
Okay.
So I don't know why they didn't just do the whole classic, instead of like Tomb Raider...
They called it Volume 1.
No.
Because that was Metal Gear Solid, wasn't it?
That was the Metal Gear thing. I thought that.
Yeah.
But it would be really awkward for them, because I thought maybe they're going to do a Volume 1, Volume 2. But the Tomb Raider 4 and 5, or it's Tomb Raider The Last Revelation and Tomb Raider...
There's a really bad one, isn't there?
That's Tomb Raider The Angel of Darkness.
That's right, yeah.
But that's a completely different engine. That's on the PS2, completely brand new engine, everything.
Okay.
So it would be really odd for them to do a second package with 2 games on the old engine and then port an entirely new version of the PS2 one.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they didn't just do Tomb Raider Classic Collection. But I'll take what I can get.
Yeah.
It's nice to
I
see
think
them...
maybe they thought that's enough content for one game, probably.
Yeah. Yeah,
but it's got like you can choose between the original graphics and new models and things, can't you?
I love when they do that. Yeah,
it's lovely. Yeah, presumably on the fly, I guess.
Yeah. I think they said you could do it on the fly. I think.
Yeah,
so.
It's good because I've always been quite tempted to go into those original ones. I had a demo of Tomb Raider 1 on the Saturn way back when. I did quite enjoy it, but I feel like if I went back to them now, I feel like the controls would be difficult to. They haven't aged, perhaps. Is that fair to say, or that's my impression anyway?
I don't know. I think because having grown up with that era of gaming, I
Yeah.
don't think you would find it that difficult. I think
Okay.
people going into it now used to sort of analog controls and 360 camera movements and all this kind of stuff. It might be a bit jarring for them to go back to it, but I think being used to that era of gaming, I don't think you would find it too tricky.
Oh, okay. Well, I just thought maybe in the collection they've modernised the controls, perhaps. Anyway, they might have done a few things to make it.
I wouldn't have thought so. Because
Okay.
the way the controls into like Tomb Raider, the way the levels are constructed, is very sort of grid based. So the tank controls kind of work in its favour because it lets you judge the gaps you can make when you do jumps, and it makes more sense when you play it. But it kind of it wouldn't. The game wouldn't flow as well if you had sort of modern free roaming movement to it. You need those tank controls to. The levels weren't built with sort of free motion in mind. I think the game would suffer from it if it didn't have the tank controls.
Okay.
I think.
Fair enough. Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't expect it at all because
No.
I think Tomb Raider is being published by Amazon now. I think Amazon owns
Is
Tomb
it?
Raider. I think
right.
so.
Okay.
Oh no, it's Embracer Group, and then I think Amazon are the publisher or something. But either way, I was expecting there to be some horrific cloud streaming thing on Amazon's own game platform. So to have an actual
Yeah.
little remaster, I was really pleased with that.
Yeah. Presumably it's on everything else as well. I would have thought. Is it on most things?
Steam. Yeah, I think it's on. I think it's on pretty much everything.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. I look forward to that. F-Zero 99 looks quite interesting. Have you tried that yet?
I haven't.
No, I haven't got online at the moment. I'll probably get it next month when Sonic Superstars comes out because that's got an online mode.
I was a bit disappointed with it, to be honest. Because the problem is I haven't forgiven them for Mario 99.
Well, yeah, they gave that to us, and then they took it away, didn't they?
Yeah.
As part of their 35th anniversary.
Yeah,
bollocks.
and I think Pac-Man 99's gone now as well.
Is it? Oh, yeah. So these 99 things don't stick around.
They
do
don't
That's
stick
true.
around, so I'm not going to bother getting into
Investing
it if they're just
no.
going to take it away.
Isn't Tetris 99 still around?
I think Tetris 99 is still going, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Okay.
still the
Yeah.
odds aren't good for 99 games.
I know what you mean. Anything that you know or suspect has a limited amount of time to exist.
Yeah.
You don't want to fall in love with it, do you?
No,
Really?
I've said it before. Like you get like every now and then. Again, no, this is going to just sound like old man complaint hour, but you'll get something. It'll be like new limited edition Twix, white chocolate and grape flavour. I don't know if that would work.
I don't think so.
But let's say it did.
Yeah.
I'm not going to buy it because what if I like
Yeah,
it? And you're
exactly.
going to take it away
You're
again.
Take it away. That's true. Yeah, that's
Not
very
going to
true.
have it.
No.
It's the same thing when they do Mars, brand new recipe. I haven't been buying it for 20 years because I didn't like the recipe. Leave it as it was.
The recipe's fine.
The recipe's fine, but yeah. So I would have preferred a new F-Zero game.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely
or
a,
like
a brand new one. It's nice to
yeah.
see F-Zero at all because we haven't for like
Yeah.
however many years it's been. But that was the main thing. Oh, F-Zero, that's cool. But a more permanent solution would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, a new F-Zero, a new Star Fox, some of the things that don't get any love.
I mean, I'm not big on Wii U ports to Switch, but I'd love a Switch port of Star Fox Zero.
I'm surprised they haven't done that.
Yeah, I'm surprised. A lot of people didn't like it because of the weird motion controls and the fact that you have to keep looking up and down at the Wii U pad. But a Switch port could fix all that. So
I'm going to say that they could tweak all that out with the Switch.
Yeah, otherwise it's a lovely version of Star Fox. So I'd really love to see that again. But Star Fox again seems to be one of those ones they just left aside for a few years now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't have much else written down for the direct, so I don't know if you had anything else to say about that.
Tomb Raider was the thing that stuck out to
Yeah.
me. I don't know. Nothing else springs to mind.
No.
If I looked it up, I could probably find something. But the Tomb Raider was a big takeaway from me, and a bit bittersweet with F-Zero. Like you say, it's good to see. That Nintendo haven't forgotten it exists. But
If it's popular, it might open the door to a proper one. So that could be a good thing.
yeah. Oh, I don't know if it was necessarily on the Nintendo Direct. But Broken Sword is getting a new game.
Oh yeah. That's right. Yeah, I've never played those. Are you a fan?
Oh yeah, I love Broken Sword.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, so that was good news. They're doing a remaster of Broken Sword 1 again, which they've already done. So I don't know, I can't get that excited about that because they've already done it. I'd rather they did like again, just do a collection of the games. Just do a collection.
Yeah, collections are good. We like
new game
collections.
coming out. Here's
Here's
the
all the
story
others.
so far collection.
Yep.
Do that. But they won't.
You've asked them. They won't.
I've asked them.
Every other week you're emailing them.
Yeah.
They're sick of you. Charles Martinet, no longer the voice of Mario.
Oh yeah, that's bad.
That's bad, yeah. I mean, he's going to be the Mario ambassador, so they're going to send him around the world spreading the joys of Mario, which I'm sure he'll be happy doing, but...
I'm not really sure that...
It doesn't sound like a real job, does it?
It sounds like a made-up job.
Sounds like something they've given to him to make sure he's
Yeah.
got something to do.
Yeah, it really does.
It didn't exist before, let's face it.
Yeah, it's a first annual Montgomery Burns Award for Outstanding Achievement in the Field of Excellence situation.
It is, yes. But yeah, I do wonder what they're going to replace him with. I presume something less stereotypically Italian, you would think, wouldn't you? The way things go these days.
Yeah, probably.
That's probably the reason behind the whole thing.
I hope it's not.
I cynically, I suspect it might be. Because why else would you get rid of him?
There's not a single person in the world who's offended by Mario.
I heard a podcast where one very left-wing person claimed it to be racist.
No.
And I think that's just ridiculous.
No,
I mean,
that must have been satire. That couldn't have been...
no, because he's a general.
Mamma mia!
Anyway, I won't say who it is or what podcast it was, but he was a very dislikable person. But yeah, no, I don't know. You could get you get people like that. But I mean, I'm not offended by a stereotype. You can say anything you want about sort of the British and the bad teeth and all that. It doesn't bother me, and I don't see why.
I'm off to the dentist tomorrow.
Yeah.
Bad teeth and I got the worst teeth in the world. Again, we don't want to keep referencing to The Simpsons, but the big book of British smiles.
Yeah,
I could be the cover boy on that. I really could.
Exactly. I mean, they just laugh them off. They're fine.
It's fine.
We've all got them. Everyone's got stereotypes about the people. It's just anyway.
Mario's just such a lovable little guy, isn't he?
Yeah, I know. I don't know why you would want to change all that, but yeah. Anyway, I think they're erring on the side of caution and maybe. But I mean, I say that we haven't heard what the new guy. He might just do exactly the same thing, which would beg the question: why change him? But
why change it?
I don't know. Maybe Charles Martinet didn't want to do it anymore. Possibly. I mean, I can't imagine he wouldn't. But I mean, maybe. You don't know.
Good evening, gentlemen. It is I, Mario.
Let's a go.
Let's a go.
Although that's pretty much what Chris Pratt did, didn't he, in the movie?
Yeah.
That was pretty much his interpretation of Mario. So there's probably going to go
really.
a similar route. That's pretty much all I've got to say in the unusually long news section there.
I was going to say maybe they're bringing Bob Hoskins back, but he's dead, isn't he?
He's dead. Yeah, I think they'll struggle with that. But AI,
Could be an
AI Bob Hoskins, we can totally see that the way the world is going these days. Right, that's probably enough of all that. Let's go to something that isn't controversial whatsoever. Captain Rainbow.
Yes, there are definitely no controversial topics.
Wait, hold everything. Stop everything. I've got an incoming indie.
Oh, that sounds painful.
Put down that proof of femininity. I've got an incoming indie.
Incoming indie.
It's a game called Good Boy Galaxy. It's an indie game for the Game Boy Advance, which you don't see very often, do you?
I've heard of this.
It looks very, very good.
Has it got a little dog?
Yeah, it's got a little dog in a spacesuit.
A dog?
Another dog in a spacesuit. It's
Yeah.
2D sort of Metroidvania-ish platformer. But it's a very, very Game Boy Advance. The look of it, you wouldn't see it on any other console like that. It looks great. Lovely animation. Really it reminds me of that guinea pig parkour animation. That guinea pig that looked like he was a sock of jelly. I think you described him as.
Yes.
That sort of bouncy, lovely bounciness to it. It's got a demo. It's actually a prologue demo, so the content in the demo is different from what will be in the game. It's like a prologue.
Oh,
of it.
good. Yeah, I like that.
So you download the ROM of that, play it on an emulator or a Game Boy Advance.
I think they're doing a proper cartridge as well.
They are doing a proper cartridge. They're also releasing it on they're releasing it on the Switch and the PC. They're also doing it on the Evercade. You know the Evercade consoles?
Yeah.
Which are they're usually compilations of retro games, but sometimes they do indie games as well, and they're doing it on that as well. Yeah, it just looks lovely. And the sound for a GBA sounds unbelievable. Really, really, I've had a little play of it. It's really, really good. Like, you wouldn't know it was coming out of a GBA, because the GBA sound quality generally isn't very great.
Yeah, it's not its strongest.
But it's got lovely sort of subtle ambience to it. It's amazing. I highly suggest you go and check it out. You can get the demo from, they got an itch.io site, which I'll put in the show notes, but it's hotpengu.itch.io/goodboy-galaxy-demo. So go and check it out. It's great.
Yeah.
Great. So, Captain Rainbow then.
Captain Rainbow.
Captain Rainbow. We'll see you after the break.
The Video Game Book Club.
Back. Today we're talking about Captain Rainbow. This was developed by Skip Limited. We've met them before, of course. They did Chibi Robo back in episode 25. So it's published by Nintendo for the Wii in August 2008, and it was only released in Japan. But despite that, it's relatively affordable, though. It's about £20 to £30 boxed if you can grab one on eBay. There's not many, but when they're not super expensive when they pop up.
I'm gonna say, I think when I got mine, it was like 15 quid, 20 quid.
Yeah. It's under the radar a little bit. It is in Japanese originally, but there's a 95% complete translation patch available on ROM Hacking, which is put together by a user named Marcas and the translation group Kirameki. There is a lot of text in the game, so you will need it if you do not speak Japanese. Still little bits of Japanese creeping in here and there, quite a lot, but it's never enough. Not that I saw anyway. You got what was going on. You didn't. Whenever it appeared, you didn't particularly need it to be English, so it should be fine. So you play as the character Nick, who is able to transform into the titular Captain Rainbow, who's a superhero whose weapon is a magic yo-yo. This makes Nick a big star on TV. That is until more exciting heroes become the latest trend, and his Nick's ratings start to plummet. So seeking to regain his popularity, he washes up on the shores of Mimin Island, said to be a magical place that can grant wishes. There he meets various obscure and lesser-known characters from other Nintendo games, all seeking to fulfill wishes of their own. Possessing a magic bangle, Nick is able to form bonds with characters by completing tasks and minigames to eventually grant their wishes one by one. So how'd you get on with it?
Not well.
Oh, okay.
But I will due to technical issues.
Oh, go on.
Because I wanted to play it on the Wii.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of software if you've got a homebrew channel on your Wii, there's a bit of software you can use called Revolution, and it will patch the game on the fly with the translation, so you can play it. And I think it's probably because it's the hard drive's on its way out, but it just kept crashing for me, and
no!
It really drove me mad. So in the end, I ended up looking mostly through playthroughs online to try and bring myself up to speed with what's going on.
Oh, that's
But yeah, it's a shame. I would like. I know I've got the GameCube emulator set up on my Steam Deck, so I will. There's a Wii emulator as well, but I didn't want to go through it all because you got to sort out how it emulates the light bar and all that kind of stuff. I know,
Yeah, it's a bit of a. I've done that. That's how I played this. I'd already set up my controller to sort of match some of the motion controls and things like that. So it takes a little bit of doing in Dolphin, but it does work quite well.
But yeah, so but the game itself,
It's an interesting. I don't really know where to start with it, really.
no, I can see for several reasons. I can see why it never left Japan.
Yes. I mean, so let's touch on some of the Nintendo characters. So a lot of them are quite obscure ones that we wouldn't know over here anyway, because they're from quite obscure NES games that were only released in Japan.
I think that's probably the main reason, just because it wouldn't mean much to sort of Western gamers, really.
Yeah. The most recognisable one is Birdo, of course.
Birdo and Little Mac.
Yeah, Little Mac as well. Yeah. So they're hanging around this island. You meet them gradually, one by one. Part of the island is open to you to begin with, and then you do a few of these missions for them, and then the rest of it opens up, and you can meet the other characters. It's quite a relatively small island. Excuse me, in the general scheme of things, but it's quite a nice place to wander around. It's sort of a top-down polygonal affair.
Yeah, I mean, it reminds me not in terms of like the gameplay, but just like the style of it. It's got a hint of Beautiful Joe.
Yeah,
I think that
a
kind
little
of
bit.
cel-shaded, sort of super stylized characters.
The graphical style is really nice, actually.
Yeah.
It's sort of like sort of polygonal, but it's drawn. The textures are all drawn and got outlines and things.
Yeah,
really,
that's right. Yeah,
it's really quite striking. I can't remember if Chibi Robo had the same sort of style. I don't think it quite did.
Not quite the same, no.
But yeah, you can see the lineage a lot in the two games. They have a very similar sense of humour.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
Because there's so many things. Like even in Chibi Robo, you would randomly have like a lid, like a metal lid, fall on your head, wouldn't you? The same thing happens in this game. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Which is obviously like a callback to it. So you sort of go around and you talk to some of the characters, and they've all come to this island to fulfill their wishes, and they've all got different things that they want to achieve. So Birdo is originally an enemy in Super Mario Brothers 2. It's recurred in the series a lot, usually in Mario Kart and things like that. This is the big pink Yoshi-looking one, isn't she?
Yeah.
So she wishes to be attractive and popular with gentlemen, which is not a trait that you see often in the Mario series.
No.
That's what she wants, apparently. Eventually, she takes Nick on as her boyfriend. She's got a very foul mouth, and she's... Let's go into her storyline, shall we?
Yeah.
Because it's by far the most controversial feature of the game, and another very big reason why the game probably never came out of Japan. So she's been imprisoned in this cage by a robot called Mappo, who is from another Japanese exclusive game on the GameCube called Gift Pia. And he wants to become a detective. He takes his role very seriously. He sort of polices the island. He's very logical, very no-nonsense. Mappo sees Birdo coming out of the public ladies' toilets because she is a lady. He, for some reason, thinks that she is a man. So he imprisons her.
Well, there's some deep lore there, isn't there?
Yeah, because originally people mistook her for a man, a boy.
No. I think it's in the American manual for.
Oh yes,
Super
that's
Mario
right.
Brothers
Yes,
2.
yes, you're right. Yes,
Yeah,
it says that she's a boy. Yeah.
Yeah, Birdo's a boy, but likes to dress as a girl and wants to be a girl, or something like that.
Yeah.
Like going way back, and
Going
it's
way
just
back,
like
yeah.
it's just like one tiny paragraph in like the Super Mario Brothers 2 manual. So it really is like an obscure bit of deep lore of the Mario universe.
That's right.
That they've chosen to pick up on.
Well, also, I mean that would have been on the American side as well, wouldn't it? So
Yeah,
even more obscure to Japanese players,
Yeah.
I'd have thought, because they wouldn't even known about that.
No.
I mean, we had the internet by then, so they might have done, but not originally. So yeah, he's imprisoned her in this little cage. She's very, very angry about it, to say the least. she's swearing. I can't remember what she actually says, but she uses pretty foul words, doesn't she?
Yeah.
And what is it about Japanese and being able to swear, like they seem to just throw it in like child-friendly things, don't they?
Yeah, I think that I think, judging by this game in general, I think that they're a very hard people to offend.
I think so. Yeah.
think
Generally,
they're
if
just
this if this
immune
passes
to
as
offence.
entertainment, then
Yeah.
yes. Yeah, I think so. So she's upset, and she says, "Listen, you got to go to my house and find the proof of femininity and show it to Mappo. There's a thing in my house proves that I'm a girl. Go and find it." So you go off. You go off to her house. You enter the house, and there's something buzzing. There's a regular buzzing sound. You go up and investigate, and there's a pillow that's shaking. You pick up the pillow, and there's a big question mark. You hold up the question mark, and it says, "You found the proof of femininity." And then if you look deeper into the menus and see what it is, it says, "Proof of femininity. It says something that please don't ask. Just accept that it's a proof of femininity."
Just accept.
So yeah, you've got her vibrating friend, let's call it. You bring it out, you show Mappo, and he accepts it as proof of her femininity and lets her go. And it's just this is a Nintendo game. This is a Nintendo published game with Nintendo characters, with a vibrator in it, and it's
Yes.
it's really weird, isn't it? Bizarre, but yeah, it seems to be okay in Japan.
I was going to say, wasn't there in Final Fantasy VII? There's when you go into Tifa's house in the flashback. There's a flashback when Cloud's talking about when he visited Nibelheim, and he went into Tifa's house, and in the Western version, he finds a pair of orthopedic underwear in Tifa's bedroom. Apparently, in Japan, it wasn't orthopedic underwear; it was something completely different. But they just did, for some reason, like in the Western translation, whatever it was just deemed too racy, so they changed it to orthopedic underwear.
How bizarre!
And
That does ring a bell. Vaguely, yeah.
What was the other one? Another example of that. 2 seconds. I think it was in Snatcher. Oh yeah. In Snatcher, there's some really dodgy stuff.
It's a more adult game, though, isn't it? To be fair.
I mean, it's an adult game, but I mean, where is it? Let me find. I gotta find this now. Yeah, so there's a character in the game who, in the Japanese version, she's 14.
Mm-hmm.
In the Japanese version, that same 14-year-old is shown naked in the shower.
Right.
Which they blocked. And there's also... I swear I'm not making this up. Let me find... I've got to find it before I say, because... Right, so, bearing in mind, this character, Katrina, is canonically 14 years old in Snatcher, in the game. I believe this is deleted text that was found in the game.
Right.
So, the character could go in there... he'll say, "Hey, these are cute. Who could have put these here? It's silk underwear. I would imagine the owner must place a lot of importance on what they wear. Underwear is a woman's ultimate weapon, after all." And the Gillian, the main character, says, "Could they be Katrina's? Are they hers? Meaning she's naked right now?" Then if you do take, you can choose the option to take the underwear. He says, "Maybe I'll just help myself to these."
Oh my god.
And then you can choose the option... It gets worse. Then you can choose the option, smell.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Oh my god.
Gideon says, "Alright, time to smell these babies. Sniff, sniff. They smell nice. Hey, I know this smell."
Oh my god.
It's a cultural thing. It
is a cultural thing. Things are different there, obviously. But it's... Yeah, I don't know how, I don't know why. They just are. They just are, aren't they?
There
is a lot of cases of like sort of underage girls, isn't there? I know it's sort of earlier on in the Dead or Alive series, some of the characters had younger ages. Some of the girls had younger ages, and when it came to America, their age was just not known.
Yeah.
You know, because obviously they're shown in fairly sexual light. So there's a lot of that sort of thing going on, isn't there?
It's a bit dodgy, let's be honest.
Yeah.
But
So I think we've concluded that.
What's it? Cultural relativism, isn't it?
Cultural relativism. We'll go with that. We won't say they're dodgy, but it's just things are relatively different there, and we have to accept that. But you know, there's a reason those things don't come over here in quite the same way that they do there. And this game, is a good example of that. Probably not as good an example as what you've just said, admittedly, but still, you know, it's there. So some of the other characters then. I mean, Hikari is a shrine maiden from a Famicom Disk System game called Shin Onigashima, apparently, and she's kind of your mentor there, isn't she? She's like a shrine maiden type person, but she has this strange way of speaking, and I don't know if it's the translation or just them taking what they're interpreting the Japanese, but she kind of speaks a bit urban, surprisingly, sort of. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how do I describe it? Dat instead of that, you know?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Which, but it was inconsistent. Sometimes she wouldn't do it at all, and sometimes she did, which I found very strange.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like an intentional thing, or if that's like because I think the person who patched the game didn't do the translation was done by someone else, wasn't it? It was like someone else translated the script.
It was a team effort, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's like as a side effect of the translation process or whatever, or if that was like if it was a joke that made more sense in the Japanese original. I don't know. That's
the thing. Sometimes these direct translations, they don't quite land in the same way that they would have done, like, you know, the arrangement of words. You know, there's a lot of reasons why they sort of rewrite a lot. It's like they do in Final Fantasy. You said before, didn't they? They sort of take the gist of what they mean, but they rewrite it completely to in a way that makes sense to us and it's more entertaining to read. So yeah, it's awkward when I suppose they do translations, because how much do they rewrite and how much do they keep faithful? But so yeah, as you said, Little Mac is here. So he's from the Punch Out series, so he's quite well known. But he's put on rather more. He's let himself go a bit. I think it's fair to say in this. So he sort of sits and sleeps a lot in this boxing ring, and you've kind of got to get him into shape through various, I think, the mini games and things. So there's quite a few like mini games like the box. It's kind of boxing related, wasn't it? I think you had to shake It's difficult to remember because I obviously had a controller, so I had to sort of emulate a lot of those things. So I did the sort of anything where I had to move the Wii remote obviously didn't lodge in my brain as much as it would have done on the real hardware. And the little soldiers. There's little soldiers from the Japanese exclusive predecessor to the Advance Wars games. There's quite a few of those, isn't there? But a lot of them were Japanese exclusive. These are from the NES one, I think, and they've given up. Wars. Yeah, but they've given up fighting each other, and they've just decided to play volleyball on the beach. You know,
and what a better place the world would be.
Exactly.
You know?
Well, it's a message for all of us, isn't it? Really.
It is.
I like them though. They just sort of run around. They're still very regimented in their volleyball playing, and they're sort of because we haven't discussed. The game has a day and night cycle. And the characters can be found in different places, and they've got like their own little routine where they go around. And I think you can see it most in them because they like to spend certain time on the beach, and then they run around. And they do their drill training on another beach, and then they go and sleep in their little hammocks and things like that. So it's quite nice. They've got volleyball mini games as well. One of them was really hard. Like I think you could choose between 3 different ones, and there was one where those volleyballs were falling down. You had to chuck them up, but they give you so little time to respond. But yeah, one of my favourite characters you get later on in the game when you unlock the second area is Tracy, who is from originally from the Game Boy Zelda game, Link's Awakening.
Okay.
And she runs the potion shop in that game. She's got quite a small part. I haven't really played that game very much, but I think she's got quite a small part in it. But here, she's far more sexualised than she ever was in that game, I assume. So her desire, her dream, is to seduce every man in the world, basically. And she's got portraits of 2 people that she's seduced on her above her sort of throne. It looks like a throne, but it's her seat in her house. And one of them is Mario, and one of them is Link. And she says, she talks about Link. She says, "Yeah, he particularly loved the medicine I gave him."
Okay.
And yeah, a YouTube video pointed it out to me. But while she's speaking, she appears to stroke her breast.
This is a first-party Nintendo title.
This is a
remember.
first-party
Yeah.
Nintendo. Yeah, published by Nintendo. Let's remind you of all that. And Drake Redcrest is here as well. He's from Chibi-Robo. He was that little sort of Buzz Lightyear style action figure.
Guy.
He crash lands on the island, and he wants you to find his core. I didn't get much further than that, but yeah, he's quite fun. So there's a few others as well, but I mean those are some of the more interesting ones. And yeah, it's quite a free form sort of game. You just sort of wander around. You start talking to them. They sort of say, "I've lost this thing," and then you kind of go and find it and do various little things like that. It's quite simple, similar to Chibi-Robo in quite a lot of ways, really.
It is, yeah. Like you say, you can definitely see the lineage between the games.
I think Chibi-Robo has a lot more structure to it, a lot more kind of elements, I think. But this it's very similar sense of humour and everything. It's quite a good exploration thing. You can kind of you can transform into. You've got your belt. You get it some point earlier on in the game, which allows you to transform briefly into Captain Rainbow himself, because usually you're Nick, and you can transform into Captain Rainbow, and that gives you abilities to break rocks with your yo-yo, and then you can go into these hidden caves and find things. So there's lots to wander around, lots to explore. Nick himself was quite a strange-looking character, I thought. Did that strike you as well? He's kind of. He's got these sort of big goggly glasses. He's kind of a stereotypical sort of geek kind of character. He's very jittery, like he's constantly like shaking. Did you notice that?
Yeah.
He's got quite an odd. He's got quite odd anime. He's got an odd little run.
He's just
not who you would normally find yourself playing as in most games. But there's a certain charm to him, I think. Like, he'll often be surprised by things, and he'll fall back, or his glasses will fall off, and he'll go, "Oh!" And he does these thumbs up when he means yes. And there's a lot of random stuff as well. Like, there's a windmill on the left-hand side, which powers the spare battery for Mappo. He has 2 batteries, and if you turn off the windmill, then his battery runs out, and he's just found like lying dead like on the floor. So you have to get his other spare battery and put it in him. If there's a buttons on that control pad of the windmill, and if you press these random other buttons other than on and off, a giant robotic hand will just burst out and knock you backwards and just wave at you and then go back in again. So it's you know what you're getting. It's just a really random, strange game that is quite endearing.
It is. It's really nice to see Nintendo, they're usually so protective about their characters.
Yes.
To let someone do something so irreverent with them.
Yeah, admittedly, not a lot of the bigger. You can see that some of the people have had their reservations and allowed them to have a lot of the more minor characters in their back catalogue. But yes, I see your point still stands nonetheless. It is unusual to see them do this sort of thing, and maybe that's another reason why they kept it in Japan. They didn't want it to get to, I don't know.
Yeah,
it seemed a bit more experimental that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think it's got much mass appeal. I think even if they'd adjusted the humour and maybe swapped out a few characters for things that the Western audience would recognise, I still don't know really if it's got sort of mass appeal.
No,
it's not going to be a big seller.
It's a fairly small, fairly simple game.
Yeah.
For the time. But yeah, I think online's got a reputation for its strangeness and its kind of irreverent humour and things like that. But
yeah, and Birdo's vulgarity.
Birdo's vibrator, yeah. The whole point of it is to grant the characters the wishes, and I think you can grant your own wish and end the game early as well, I think. But you collect these little stars that are dotted around the island, and when you get 20 of them, a big star, they form a big star, and if you've formed a solid enough relationship with certain characters and done enough of their little quests, you can get them to come with you on a journey to the top of the island with the big star, to send them on their way and grant their wish. So Birdo will get a boyfriend, and presumably Tracy is able to seduce any man she wants. I don't know, didn't get that far. And And then there's these slime creatures that appear for some reason and try and stop you and things like that. But yeah, it's an interesting one. I'd recommend digging it out if you can, having a little go.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's got bags of charm, and if as long as you go in expecting a little bit of a little bit more of a coarse sense of humour than you would usually get in a Nintendo game.
Yes.
I think there's a lot of fun to be had there.
Hmm.
I think it's the comedy that comes from seeing these characters, the characters that you do know, acting in ways that you just are completely completely out of whack.
That's funny in of itself,
Yeah.
isn't it? Just the mere fact that they're doing it, rather than as well as what they're saying. It's,
Yeah.
yeah. It's a very unusual game, and it's nice to see Nintendo doing something different and being a bit more playful with their IP and things like that.
Yeah, it really is. I wish I get why companies are so defensive about their IP and the way their characters are portrayed, but
yeah,
when you've got a character, like Birdo, who is a big pink thing that spits eggs out a gob.
yeah.
You can't. There's only so much. There's only the degree on how serious you can take that character, isn't there?
Yes, it's not. She's not going to have any complicated backstory or
No.
lore or very complicated motivations or anything like that. Is she? She's
No.
just have some fun with her.
Yeah, just have some fun with it, and I think that's a lot of games could probably take a leaf out of that book and just don't take yourself that seriously. Just have some fun with the characters.
Yeah. Definitely. I think Nintendo could stand to do a bit more these days, I think. Yeah. Learn from their own games. Yeah, I think it's unlikely we'll see this reappearing anywhere.
I would be very surprised.
I mean, we said that about Lollipop Chainsaw, and that's supposedly getting a remake. So you never know, but I think this is even less likely than that to get one. So, dig it out, have a go. I mean, you've got to set up a patch and everything, and you either emulate it or do what you did with the Wii. Hopefully it won't crash and everything. But yeah, if you could, it's worth it doing it. Or look it up on YouTube if you want some more evidence. But yeah, it's good. Right, so it's your pick next, I believe.
Yes, it is.
And it is.
Haven't thought of it. No, I got a couple of ideas.
All right. Well, I'll give you a minute to decide.
No,
We got to play something, Tibbs.
No, I know. I should have narrowed it down. I've got a few ideas.
All right. Should we do some other? Should we run through? I'll run through all the socials and everything, and you can think about.
No. I've got one. I will say we don't have to. We can only. It doesn't matter if we don't get through it all, but I think we should do at least the first two sections.
Okay.
Minimum.
Fine.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
So we're going to be playing Phoenix Wright.
Oh,
Ace Attorney.
I've been meaning to put this in the book club for ages. Yeah. Okay.
Have you played through it before?
I haven't played through any of them. No. So this is the original, is it?
Yeah, this is the original. So I think we should do it at least because the first case is kind of just like basically a tutorial.
Yeah.
So I think we should do at least the minimum the first two cases. If we could get through all of them, then so much the better. But at least if we aim to do the first two cases, then we should have enough to discuss.
Yeah, I was going to pick this next year.
Right.
Because it's one I've always wanted to get round to. Yeah. So cool. I'm looking forward to that. That'll be very good.
Cool.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Well, that's a bit of a banger, actually, isn't it? Yeah. That's a very popular series, isn't it?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. We can look forward to that next episode. In the meantime, you can contact us. We are podemup@gmail.com. On Twitter, we are @podemup. And podemup.live.
Podemup.live.
Yep. Tibbs is going to check on the renewal status of that, aren't you?
Bet.
We're not going to let that slip again for another year. So yeah, dude.
This is back office stuff. The listeners
back
don't need
office.
to hear about this. This is
I know. I'm just reassuring them that we won't lose it again. Yeah. Oh, I don't know what else to say now.
Any messages?
No. No message. Oh, yeah, the Steam stuff, isn't it? Yeah, we're still giving away Steam games, but it's not very popular for some reason. It's just a complete disaster, if I'm honest.
There's some bangers in there.
There's some bangers in there. I haven't got the list open. But we do. Yeah, you added a few more, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a few more.
I haven't got the list open, I'm afraid.
No, I don't know what they were, but they were
there's
good.
There's some good ones, yeah. So, yeah, if this is your first episode, or if you never listened this far, we give away a load of Steam. If you get in touch with us and tell us some stuff about, what you listen to us on and where you found us and anything else you want, book club suggestions.
Should be TerraPlayer, really, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should be Terra. Oh, thank you very much. TerraPlayer is another place you can find us. That's a lovely resource for all, not all, but a lot of them, a lot of gaming podcasts and music stations and things like that. Yeah, you can find us there. But yeah, if you found us anywhere else, get in touch and tell us, and then you can help yourself to one of several Steam keys that we have lying around that we'll happily give to you. Free of charge. You don't have to do anything other than just get in touch with us. So do that, poddemup@gmail.com or at poddemup on Twitter.
Don't you mean X?
No, I don't mean X, I mean Twitter.
Do you see he's planning to... Apparently he's planning to make everyone pay for it now.
Yeah, that was... yeah, I don't think it's an idea I think he had, isn't it? We don't know, but I wouldn't be...
He is an ideas man.
He is an ideas man, and he is insane, so I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. He seems to be intent on just destroying it, so... He may not be around by the time we record next time. Who knows?
No. So,
but the thing is, there's no consensus on what everyone should use because there's so many others, and everyone's just it's the only solution. MSN. Because remember, everyone just used to basically use MSN for Twitter and just put their what do you call it, their screen name as whatever they're doing at the time, like a song lyric or something like that.
Song lyric or some random thought, or thought of the day or a quote, or
So that was Twitter before Twitter. So we'll just go back to doing that. I think we all go on MSN.
They were good days.
They were good days. I liked MSN. It was good.
MSN was good.
Yeah, we used to chat a lot on that, didn't we?
Oh, we did. Yeah. Yeah, we
did a
Guess the Diddle.
Guess the Diddle. We did Guess the Diddle. We whiled away the hours with that, didn't we?
Yes.
We did an Ollie adventure role play, didn't we?
Yeah. Have you still got that?
Somewhere. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that was bizarre.
We should say, because in modern nomenclature, diddle means something quite different than
it does. Back then. Yeah. No, we don't mean that. No, God, no. No, we were doing Sonic tunes, weren't we?
We tried to transpose Sonic tunes into
text
into
form.
Words like diddle 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 diddle, and we had to try and guess. The internet was a different place, all right? We didn't have YouTube.
This is how things were simpler back in those days. We're going into the old man thing again.
Fun.
This is what we did. We sat around the fire. We got on MSN out. And we just wrote out Sonic tunes in diddle form and tried to guess them.
Oh, my
Kids
word.
these days, they don't know they're born with a Tikety-Tok.
They don't know, do they? With their TikToks.
They have no idea what we've been through. Yeah. Anyway, we've done more than enough of that this episode, I think. So let's draw a line there, shall we? Right. So catch us next time for Phoenix Wright. And are we playing the original version of that? Because they remastered it and stuff, didn't they? What version are we playing?
I play whichever one you can get your hands on. I mean, originally it came out on the GBA. I wouldn't go with the GBA ones. Play either the Nintendo DS or the remastered one. The remastered one is exactly the same. It just looks nicer. So there's no difference in the actual content as far as I'm aware.
All right. Cool. Okay. Right then. Yep. Catch us next time for that, and we will see you then. Bye-bye.
Bye.